Yan. Paki-ready ng calcu. Ipapaliwanag natin sa long method of computation, pero siguro after problem number 2, calcu na lang ang gagamitin natin. Okay. The requirement for number 1 is just to compute for the carrying amount, December 31, 20, x2, which is somehow madali lang siya. Pero class, we will be using problem number 1 to answer all the questions that are commonly asked in the board examination. And what are those common questions given in the board exam? 1, compute for the carrying value of the bonds. Next, how much is the unamortized bond discount or bond premium? Next, how much is the interest income? Next, how much is the bond discount or bond premium? Okay? Ano pa? How much is the amortization of the bond discount or bond premium? These are the common items given in the board exam. Okay. Let's now deal with item 1. On January 1, X1, the company acquired 8% 1 million bonds for 936,603. The principal is due December 31, 2024, but the interest is due annually. The yield rate or the market rate or the effective rate on the bonds is 10%. The investment will be subsequently measured at amortized cost. How much is the carrying amount of the investment December 31, 20 x2? Okay, let's recap the concept. The initial measurement of an investment in bonds is at present value. Okay. So the present value of these bonds is what? Kung magkano mo siya nakuha. So, in January 1, okay, January 1, X1, the present value is 936,603. Okay, that is now the initial measurement. Okay, next question, chat box please. Is this transaction a discount or a premium? So this is a discount. Okay, and how much is the discount? We will be comparing this 936 to 1 million pesos. Okay. So the 1 million pesos is the face amount of the bonds. So therefore, this is now your discount. Okay, there is a discount here because the present value is less than the face amount. So we have here 1 million minus 936. That is 63,397. Next question. Is this discount gain or loss on the part of the investor? Chat box, please. Is this discount gain or loss on the part of the investor? This is a gain on the part of the investor but cannot be recognized as an outright gain. This should be amortized as an addition to interest income over the term of the bonds. Okay? So here, meron tayong interest receivable. And the interest receivable will be coming from the use of your stated rate. Okay? So the stated rate is 8%. And your interest income will come from your effective rate or market rate of 10%. If we will be completing this effective interest method of amortization, this will be computed like this. Every December 31, okay, each year end, you will be receiving 8%, and that is equivalent to 1 million times 8%, that is 80,000 pesos. So this is December 31, 20 x1, 80,000. Okay? 20x2 December, 80,000 again. Hanggang kailan ba yan? Hanggang 20x4. Okay? 20x3 December, 80,000. And 20x4 December, 80,000. That is the main reason kaya ka nag-i-invest sa bonds. Nung pinakita sa iyo ito, sa bond indenture, tatanggap ka ng 8% on a regular basis at each year end. Okay. So let's complete the effective interest method of amortization. So that is 936 times 10%. Yan. So the amortization here is, ito gagawin lang natin ito sa calculator, ha? Okay, 13,600 for the first year. Next question, will this 13,660 be added or deducted to 936? That should be added. Why? Because ang pangako sa'yo, class, at maturity, you will be receiving the face amount of 1 million. Dito, 1 million yan. Okay? Kaya papunta ka sa 1 million. So this should be added. So this is plus 13,660. Okay? The same procedure applies here to complete the effective interest method of amortization. But then, class, again, hindi natin to gagawin ng ganito. Calculate lang tayo later. Okay? Just to emphasize the concept. Kaya ko to ginagawa ngayon. Okay? Kasi class, yun ang gagamitin mo pag nagturo ka ng undergrad. Huwag mo munang ituruan ng shortcut. Kailangan ipaintindi mo muna yung konsepto. Pag naintindihan niya yung concept, madali na to eh. Ito. Bakit natin to ginagawa? O, tingnan natin. Ayan. So, ano lang to, kung may discrepancy dyan, that is just due to rounding of error. Okay? So, i-drop na natin yung mga decimal. Okay. So, this 63,397 is a gain on the part of the investor but cannot be recognized as an outright gain that should be amortized as an addition to interest income over the term of the bonds. Ito yun. This is now the amortization of your discount. Kaya pag tinotal mo to, that is 63,397. Now, paliwanag natin yung concept behind this effective interest method of amortization. Tingnan natin. Nag-i-invest ka because of interest. And the total interest income will come from your stated rate na ang pangako sa iyo ay 80,000 pesos. Let's take year number 1. Ito yun. Pero hindi yan ang total interest income mo because the resulting transaction is a discount which is a gain on the part of the investor. Kaya magkakaroon ka ng discount amortization. And the discount amortization is 13,660 for the first year. So the total interest income that you will be enjoying is what? That is 93,660. And that is, ito. Yan yon. Ito yon. Yan yung essence ng ginagawa nating effective interest method of amortization. Now, sir, to get the interest income, ang gawin ko na lang, present value or carrying value times the effective rate. Makukuha ko na yung total interest income. The answer is yes. Tama ka. Kaya nga ang definition ng effective rate that is the true and actual interest income that the bondholder earns. Ang problema lang, kapag tinuruan ka na ng ganun ang pag-compute ng interest income, hindi mo na-appreciate kung bakit ganito ang effective interest method of amortization. Na ang totoong dahilan, nagsimula ka dito at madadagdagan niya ng discount amortization. Nakuha. Pag nagturo ka ng undergrad, ipaliwanag mo yung konseptong to. Okay? Next. Ito, ang sagot dito, 20x2, ito na yon 965, 290. Pero nga hindi tayo titigil dyan eh. Okay? So here, ano ang pwedeng itanong? 1, the discount or premium. The present value and the succeeding carrying values, pwedeng itanong. Next, how much is the interest income, pwedeng itanong. At ano pa? Favorite question sa exam, how much is the unamortized bond discount or premium? Okay, let's have this. How much is the unamortized bond discount or premium in 20x2? Okay, kung ito 20x2, ang unamortized portion ng discount ay ito. Yan. So that is 16,529 and 18,182. So this is what? 16,529 plus 18,182. That is 34,711. That is the amortized bond discount. Pero class, sabi ko nga, hindi naman natin to gagawin eh. Ang gagawin mo, yung ginagawa nating memory plus memory recall, ito yung nakikita mo lang, yung carrying value mo. Okay, ito yon. So, to get the amortized bond discount or premium, just compare the carrying value of the bonds to the outstanding face amount of the bonds. So, if this is 1 million, i-compare mo lang sila. That is 1 million minus the carrying value. You will be getting the unamortized bond discount or premium. The difference is just due to rounding off error. Pero yun yun. Okay? So, sa exam, wala ka naman ito. Yan. Di ba, hindi ko na nga pinagawa yan yung nasa ano pa tayo, receivable. Wala ka yan. Ito lang ang meron ka. Di ba? Meaning, to compute for this, using your own calcu, pantindahang calcu, di ba ganito lang yon. Just key in 936,603. O, sabayan na. Isang beses lang. Calcu, 936,603, memory plus, times the effective rate of 10%, minus 80,000, pre-computed interest receivable. Okay? Memory plus equals memory plus memory recall. Nako-compute mo. Ito, ulitin natin. 936,603, memory plus, times 10% minus 80,000 equals memory plus memory recall. Nako-compute mo si 950,263. Proceed. Times 10% minus 80,000 equals memory plus memory recall. Nako-compute mo si 965 and so on and so forth. Ginawa na natin yan dati. Meaning, ang nasa papel mo lang, ito lang. Okay? To compute for the interest income, let's say 20x2, galing ka dito. Sa 20x1, makompute mo yung the whole year ng 20x2 times the effective rate ka na lang to get the interest income. That's one. Next, to compute for the unamortized bond discount or premium, just compare this with the outstanding face amount to compute for the unamortized bond discount. Okay. Next, how much is the carrying values? Ito na yung mga carrying values. Next, magkano ang discount amortization? The difference between the two carrying values are what? The discount amortization. Okay, so the difference between 965 and 950 is your discount amortization, which is 15. Okay, so meaning hindi ka dyan tatagal. Okay, so that is problem 1. But the requirement for item 1 just to compute for the 20x2 carrying value, there you go, that is 965,290. Let's now have item 2. In item 2, this is a premium. Okay, on January 1 X1, Air Company acquired 14% 1 million bonds for 1,099,474. The principal is due December 31, 20X3, but interest is due annually starting 20X1 December. The effective rate, market rate, yield rate is 10%. The bonds are classified as investment at amortized cost. How much the carrying amount of the investment? Okay, so kunin ulit natin to. And ipaliwanag ulit natin. Mabilis na nga lang. Hindi na katulad kanina na sobrang kasi pinapaintindi natin kanina yung concept. Okay, so this is what? This is now a premium. Okay? So, the face amount of the bonds is 1 million. But the present value is 1,099,474. So this should be 1,099,474. Okay? And the face amount is 1 million. So there is a discount amounting to 1,099 minus 1 million or a premium. This is now a premium. Okay? Premium siya. Which is a loss on the part of the investor, which cannot be recognized as an outright loss, but should be amortized as a reduction to interest income over the term of the bonds. Okay, so the interest here, stated rate is 14%, so this is 14%. And 14% of that is 14% of 1 million, that is 140,000 pesos. So this is 140,000. And the effective rate remains to be at 10%, and this is only until 20X3. So wala pala to. Yan. Okay. So yan. Para mapakita lang. Okay. So kumpletuhin ko lang, class, ha. Okay. Yan. So ito na siya. So this 99, which is a loss on the part of the investor, should not be treated as an outright loss, but this should be amortized as an addition to interest income over the, as a reduction to interest income over the term of the bonds. So, kung eto ikaw, ang investor na yan, ang pangako sa'yo, 140,000, you will not be enjoying the whole 140,000 because of that loss transaction or a premium. Magkakaroon ka ng premium amortization dito. And the premium amortization for the first year is 30,053, and that is a reduction to that 140,000. So, ang ma-enjoy mo lang is 109,947 for the first year. Okay lang. Panalo ka pa din naman. Okay? So, let's now go over with the common questions. Magkano ang amortization? Ito na yon. And ito, memory plus memory recall lang din to. 1,099,474 memory plus times 10% minus 140,000 equals memory plus memory recall, nakukuha mo to. Okay? Proceed times 10% minus 140,000 equals memory plus memory recall, nako-compute mo to. Ibig sabihin, itong part na to, wala yan sa papel mo. Ito lang. Okay? Then, ano pa yung mga tanong? Carrying values, ito na yon. Then, ano pa yung mga tanong? An amortized bond discount or premium. Just compare this with what? With the outstanding face amount. Let's say, how much is the unamortized bond premium 20X2? Just compare this 1,036 to that outstanding face of 1 million. Kuha mo na yan. Okay? So that is 36,364 non-amortized bond premium as of December 31, 20X2. Okay? So that is your item 2 and the official answer for the requirement carrying value 20X2, that is 1036. Let's now move to problem 3. Refer to number 2 assuming that half of the investment was sold on January 1, 20X2 for 480,000. Okay? The transaction cost incurred on the sale amounted to 15,000. How much is the gain on the sale? Okay. So the sales price here is 480,000 pesos. Okay? Then sabi niya, kalahati lang daw was sold on January 1, 20X1. So when is January 1, 20X2 pala? January 1, 20X2 is a day after December 31, 20X1. So dito ka manggagaling. Okay? So meaning this is 1,099,421, the existing carrying amount of the bonds prior to the selling of the bonds times 50%. Okay? So this is now the carrying value related to the 50% of the bond sold. So therefore, there is what? A loss on the part of the seller. Okay? The loss is this. Yan. However, is this the total loss? This is not yet the total loss. Kasi nagbayad ka pa ng transaction cost na 15,000 pesos. Therefore, the total loss here would be 69, no? So 54 plus 15, this is your total loss, which is 69,711 rounded off. The total loss, which is the answer for problem 3. Okay? Next, let's now move to problem 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Eto class, ang konsepto nito, this is now the in-between interest payment dates. Tingnan mo class. The date of the bonds is January 1, 20X1, but the transaction happened April 30. Okay, paliwanag natin to. Halimbawa, ikaw si A, nag-invest ka sa bonds ng January 1, 20X1. Okay? Then, ang sabi sa'yo, kaya ka nag-invest, tatanggap ka raw ng 10% on an annual basis. And the payout is, let's say, every December 31. So, December 31, these are now your interest payment dates, and every December 31 thereafter. And the business model mo during the acquisition of that investment is to collect contractual cash flows until the maturity of the investment. So this should be properly classified as investment in amortized cost at amortized cost. Okay, pero hindi ibig sabihin class na hindi mo na pwedeng ibenta yung bonds na yan. Yung basis na business model, that is the basis for the classification on the acquisition of the investment. But it does not necessarily mean na wala ka ng karapatang ibenta yan, lalo na kapag wala ka ng pera. Let's say, pagdating ng April 30, 20X1, wala ka ng pera. Okay? Sabihin, may problema ka sa liquidity. Hindi mo naman pwedeng maibili ng bigas yung investment in bonds mo. Kailangan mong ibenta yan. Okay? Let's say, binenta mo yan kay Mr. B. Yan. So, tatanungin ka na dito ng purchase price or sales price. O, dito tayo. On the part of B, siya yung bumili. Okay? Ano yung purchase price niya? Ang purchase price class, that is the combination of the investment. Okay? Sales price related to the investment plus the accrued interest. Bakit? Ganito kasi yan. Kung ikaw si A, binenta mo kay B, ang sasabihin mo kay B, B, bayaran mo yung bonds. Ito yung sales price ko related sa investment. Pero bayaran mo rin yung interest na dapat na para sa akin, which is equivalent to 4 months. 4 months. Ang tanong ni B, bakit ko babayaran yung interest na 4 months? Sasagot ka, ikaw si A. Kasi B, pagdating kasi ng 12/31/20X1, since ikaw ang may hawak ng bonds, babayaran ka kasi doon ng interest income na equivalent to 12 months. Mag-credit ka, mag-earn ka ng interest income equivalent to 12 months. B, tingnan mo naman. Sa buong 12 buwan, ako ang naghirap ng 4 na buwan. Ikaw, maghihirap ka lang na hawakan ng bonds magmula ngayon hanggang December 31, which is actually 8 months lang, B. Okay? So meaning, pagdating dito, sa transaction na to, ang gagawin dyan ni B, magde-debit siya dyan ng interest income equivalent to 4 months. 4 months. Siyempre si A, magre-recognize ng interest income na 4 months. That is inclusive of that purchase price. Okay. So, tingnan mo B, mag-debit ka dyan ng 4 months, mag-credit ka ng 12 months, gaano ba lang ba kaya hinawakan ng bonds? Di ba? 8 buwan lang. So, that is 12 minus 4, 8 months. Okay. Meaning, that purchase price, if that is made in between the interest payment dates, okay, that should include the accrued interest. Okay? So, yun ang konsepto dito. However, class, hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon, ibibigay sa yung information na ganito, di ba? Excluding interest and including interest. But let's take it one by one. So, let's now go to problem 4. Ang sabi ni problem 4, on April 30, 20X1, Air Company acquired 10% 100,000 bonds dated January 1, 20X1 at 102. At 102, in a bond problem, that is 102%. Okay. If the purchase price excludes interest, excludes mean binayaran ng interest in a separate transaction. Okay, let's take here. So, the purchase price is 102%. So, the sales price on the part of the seller and purchase price on the part of the buyer is 102,000. That is just 100,000 times 1.02 or 102%. So, that is 102,000 here. Okay. So, ang sabi, this 102,000 already excludes the interest. And the interest that is referring to the accrued interest that run from January 1 to April 30, and that is 4 months. Magkano ba yun? So that is 100,000 times 10% times 4/12. Yan yung interest na pinag-uusapan. Okay, 3,333. So, if we will answer problem 4, how much is the initial carrying amount of the investment wherein the purchase price already excludes the interest? The answer would be 102,000. Okay? How about number 5? Refer to number 4. If purchase, may nawalang word, purchase price includes interest, how much is the initial carrying amount of the investment? Diba ito yung purchase price mo? Ang sinasabi ng problem 5, the purchase price includes interest. Nandyan pa yung corresponding accrued interest na equivalent to 3,333. Di ba ito nahahati sa investment at corresponding accrued interest. Ang accrued interest niyan ay 3,333. So the amount of the investment, initial carrying amount would be 102,000 minus 333. 3,333. So the answer in problem 5 is 98,667 rounded off. Question. This 4 and 5 explicitly stated the inclusion or exclusion of the accrued interest, which is not common in the board exam. Ano ba ang common? Wala silang nilalagay na inclusion or exclusion of interest. Meaning the problem is silent. Ilalagay lang nila, this is the purchase price. Oh, my question now is this. If the problem is silent as to the inclusion or exclusion of accrued interest, what is now the assumption? Would the interest be included in that purchase price or excluded in that purchase price? Chat box, please. Just type I or E. Okay. So let's now go to the business logic. Business logic tayo. Ito. Kung ikaw si A, binenta mo kay B ng 430 ng bonds ay January 1 at binayaran ka ni B, let's say 120,000 ang binayad sa'yo. Umuwi ka sa bahay, binilang mo 120,000. Ang tanong, pinabayaran mo kaya yung accrued interest income na para sa'yo? Yes or no? The answer is yes. That is the business logic, di ba? That is the basis of what if the problem is silent. Pag binenta mo yun kay B at binayaran ka ni B, ibig sabihin, tas pinabayaran mo yung accrued interest na para sa'yo. Kasi hindi ka papayag na hindi yun pababayaran. Okay? So that is now the assumption. If the problem is silent, the purchase price includes the accrued interest. Board exam problem, item 6. Ang tinatanong niya, how much is the gain or loss on the sale? But we will be computing this using our shortcut formulas na lang sa Calcu. We will not be dealing with effective interest method of amortization. Okay? Kasi tatagal nga. Ito na. So, ang tanong niya ay gain or loss. So, hanapin natin kung kailan nagbenta. Basa ng problem. Nang January 1, 20X1, Air Company acquired 12% 1 million bonds for 1049737. The principal is due on January 1 X4, but the interest is due annually starting December 31 X1. The bonds are classified as investment measured at amortized cost. The yield rate or the market rate on the bonds is 10%. On September 30, the entire bonds, 20X2, the entire bonds were sold at 110. Commission paid to broker amounted to 10,000. Magkano ang gain on the sale? Okay. So the purchase price is also called the sales price. Siyempre, ang sales price that is on the point of view of the seller. Purchase price on the point of view of the buyer. Ito. Ang sales price niya dyan is 110. So, this is now September 30, 20X2. Okay, the sales price here is 1 million bonds times 110% times 1.10. This is now the sales price. Okay. And you're asked to compute how much is the gain or the loss on the sale. Tingnan mo, class. This 110, okay, is silent about the inclusion or exclusion of accrued interest. Question. As far as 20X2, September 30 is concerned, kailan huling nagkaroon ng bayaran ng interest? Can you please give me a date? Chat box, please. When was the last time interest payment was made? It says here that the interest is due annually starting December 31, 20X1. And I'm referring to September 30, 20X2. My question is, when was the last interest payment made? So this was made, that is 20X1, December 31. Meaning, from January 1 to September 30, walang binayarang interest. The next interest payment date would be December 31, 20X2. So there would be a accrued interest equivalent to 9 months. Okay? However, the problem is silent as far as the inclusion or exclusion of that 90,000 accrued interest to this sales price or purchase price of 110. My question now, if this problem is silent about that inclusion or exclusion or inclusion of interest, is this 1.1 million pesos includes the 90,000 accrued interest? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Therefore, the sales price related to the bonds is only how much? Ito lang yun. 1.1 minus 90,000. This will now be the basis in computing for your gain or loss on the transaction. Tanggal dapat yun. Hindi pwedeng ito ang maging basis mo sa pag-compute ng gain or loss. Kasi anuman at anuman ang mangyayari, pababayaran mo yung 90,000 na dapat na para sa iyo. So the gain or loss on transaction should exclude that 90,000, meaning this is just the amount related to the selling price of the investment itself or the bonds itself. So this 1.10 million will now be compared to the carrying value of the bonds as of September 30, 20x2 to get the gain or loss. So our objective now is to compute this carrying value, but we will just be using our calcu. Okay, let's now compute. Please encode 1049737. 1049737 memory plus. Okay, 1049737 memory plus times the effective rate of 10%. So times 0.10 minus the interest receivable of 120,000. So minus 120,000 equals memory plus memory recall. Okay? Ulitin natin. 1049737 memory plus times 10% minus 120,000 equals memory plus memory recall. Ano ang lumalabas sa calcu mo? O, type mo sa chat box. Magkano ang lumalabas sa calcu mo? So, yung sa December muna. Yan. So, that is 1,034,711. That is the carrying value of the bonds December 31, 20x1. Okay. So, ang kailangan natin hindi naman December 31. Ang kailangan natin ay September 30. So, itutuloy natin to. Tuloy natin. Times the effective rate of 10%. Ito yon. However, class, this 10% is an annual rate. Ang kinocompute mo lang ay hanggang September 30 lang. Oh. So, after multiplying that by 10%, i-multiply mo pa yan ng times 9/12. Okay? Pag inequals mo yan, ang dapat nasa calcu mo, 77,603 something. Minus the interest from January to September 30, that is 90,000. So, minus 90,000 equals memory plus memory recall. Magkano dapat ang nasa calcu mo ngayon? So, magkano dapat? So, that should be 1 million. Yan. So, that is 1,022,314. So, coming from the carrying value kanina, hanapin ko na lang sa chat box, no? Yung carrying value kanina na 104,711 ng December times 10%, no? Times 9/12 minus 90,000, that is the interest from January to September 30, okay? Equals memory plus memory recall. Ito na yung mako-compute mo. The carrying value on that September 30, 20x2 amounting to 1,022,000. Okay? 1,022,314. Okay? So, yan yon. Then, yan na siya. So, this is now 1,010,000 sales price and the carrying value is 1,022,000. Talo ka ng 12,314. But this is not yet the answer. Why? If the problem asks you to determine the gain or loss on sale, that is referring to the total gains or losses on the sale. Okay? So meaning, itong binayaran mong transaction cost na 10,000, nagbayad ka pa kasi, isasama mo yan. to get the total gains or total loss. So meaning the answer here is 22,314. That is now the total loss on sale. Okay? That is item 6.